Unauthorized process value changes or code changes can have a huge negative impact to any automation system. Let me show you how easy security can be. So if you look at my current automation system, I have the S7-1500 with some I/O, E200 SP distributed, as well as a comfort panel, all of which is on Profinet. So the first step would actually be, let's set up some user administration from the panel and set up different levels of control. If I come over here and go to the user administration under this panel, I have two user groups pre-established automatically, the administration group and the user group. In the administration group, I have all levels of control, and the actual user group I only have operate and monitor. Well, that's perfect. Let's set up the two new users. First thing I want to do is add admin, so just AD is going to be the name. Let's go to the password. That's going to be 123. I have to confirm that. 123. Click OK. Set up the second one. It's going to be the operator. OP is going to be the name. And the password is going to be 456. Confirm this as well. 456. Click OK. So if you look at the panel, you'll see the first view I have here is more of a maintenance view. So we can see if the valves are on or off, if the pump and mixer are actually running, as well as the level in the actual vessel. I have no actual control functionality. So the first thing I want to do is give the operator control to turn these pumps and the mixer on. So if I go over to my screen, mixer machine screen, actually choose the icon here across the top called mixer_pump, give focus to it, right click, go to properties. Go down at the bottom in security and choose operator, allow control, that's correct. The next thing I want to do is give some administrative rights to the valve 1, which is right here. So for instance, if they can change a recipe or not, that's administrative level. Give focus to him, go down to security tab under properties and choose user administration. Now what I need to do is give focus to this panel and actually click the download arrow button. Now it's going to compile the fact that I've made these changes. He's going to compile that we've actually added the user administration to both these different buttons. Override all, click on load. Now it's actually going to load this new configuration with the actual user administration down. You can see it is doing that right now. Then he's going to do a refresh here in a few seconds. The refresh is occurring. And now our user administration is complete. So what does it do for us? Here's the maintenance view. Of course, like I said, you can see the valves are either open or closed. You can actually see what's actually going through them. If I come over to mixer pump, click on that, click on user, and the name is OP. That's what we typed in earlier. The password is going to be 456. Click OK. Now I can actually go to that and I can actually turn, let's say, the pump on. At this point, you'll see that the level's starting to increase. And in fact, I can even turn on the mixer. If I go back to the actual maintenance screen, you can see everything is fully functional from a maintenance perspective. Everything's running. But how about changing a recipe? If I come over to the valve 1, click on user, it's going to be AD is what we set up as the administrator. And the password is going to be 123. Click OK. Go back to that valve screen and you can see here the plus and minus sign of the actual valve position. I can manipulate it and change the recipe. Okay, so that's our standard automation architecture from an HMI standpoint of user administration who has rights to do what. What's new? We have a display on the 1500 and you have the ability to change the IP address. So can we lock that down? Well, of course we can. Let me show you how I do this. If I come over to the actual main CPU here, give focus to the device configuration view, give focus to CPU, right click and go to properties. If I scroll all the way bottom of his properties, go to display, at the very bottom of the display you'll see enable display protection. That's correct. The password is going to be 123. I have to enter that twice. Let me give focus to the CPU again. Click the download arrow button. Now it's going to compile. I've made these changes as well. Added this password in for this display. Now that the compilation is complete, I can click on stop all. Click on load, so now you'll see that he's going stop mode. He's actually loading to this actual controller. Click on finished. Now he'll restart and get him up and running. Now he's running. So can we actually change this IP address? Let's go look. Let's go over to the settings, click OK. Go to addresses, the first address, go down to the IP address. Once you get the little pencil, that means you can actually change this. Click on OK again, enter password, click OK, and go to 1, 2, 3. That's our password. Click OK one more time. At this point, I can actually see I get the cursor on the 1, so I can actually change this IP address. And you can lock this back down if I just hit escape and back out. And then you can see on the normal settings screen, I have the ability to lock display, click OK. Now it's actually password protected again. How about the controller and his program? Well, I can do the same thing. If I give focus to the main CPU, go down to Properties, scroll all the way to the bottom, click on Protection. The standard stuff you've always seen is full access, read, and HMI protection like we've always had. However, we have something new called No Access or Level 4. Before I show you that, real quick, I want to click on HMI access and scroll down, and you'll see connection mechanisms for gets and puts from OPC server from a SCADA system, or also if you're doing some controller-controller communications, is still enabled if I have HMI access. However, if I click on Level 4 protection, at this point, gets and puts from OPC are now shut down. The only way I could do this would be I do tsend treceive from a controller-to-controller communication, or I could do iDevice over Profinet, of which both will be over secure connection. Well, I do want to do level 4 with this controller. Then go back and give his password. I'm going to use admin. I have to type it in twice. And then give focus to the CPU. Click on the download arrow button this time. He's going to compile the fact that I've added this into this program. Once it's finished with his compilation, click on stop all. That's correct. Click on load, so we should actually see him go into the stop mode. He is. And click on finished. And then he'll restart. And now you see we actually have a little lock on the display to show that this actual controller is locked down as well. However, I still have complete control from the panel because I have an existing connection. Until I reestablish connection, does it actually blow it up? Well, let me actually shut down the runtime. That's the easiest way for me to do this. Once the runtime is completely shut down, it'll give us the ability to restart. Once I do restart, he's actually going to try to reconnect to a protected CPU at level 4. However, you'll see quite instantly we get all hash marks on these bit fields. Both pumps don't show as if they're running, and the level, you can obviously see that the slider's all the way up. This is a fully functioning system, but this HMI panel cannot see anything this controller can see. Can't read or write. Well, the way you solve that and give him a direct connection to this controller is go over to Connections. Access protection password is going to be admin. Give focus back to the HMI, click on the download arrow button. At this point, it's going to compile the fact that we have this new level 4 protection from the controller to the HMI. Now the compilation is complete. Click on override all, click on load. So now it's going to load the original screens, including the user administration, as well as this new secure connection between the 1500 controller and comfort panel that only these two can talk to each other. At this point, the transfer is almost complete. Now he's going to refresh. And as you can see the valve status and even the level. So I can come over here and turn on this valve, and I can even move the slider. You can see that the actual level is changing. So that means that I do have a secure connection between this controller and this HMI panel, and only these two can actually be controlled and talk to each other. And I was able to do this whole thing in just a matter of minutes. Now that's engineering efficiency.